Hi, sixth year business. So this is just going through the higher level long question tree that I gave you to do in your last assignment. So you'll see from the long questions, question tree is always usually about global business like the European Union. So if you kind of like this chapter, question tree and the long questions will be a good one to answer. So part A, evaluate the role of the EU institutions in the decision making process of the European Union. So, from the PowerPoint, as you know, the EU institutions are the European Commission, the European Parliament, the Council of the European Union, and then the European Court. Okay, so then I just have here, we were just asked to evaluate the role. So, the European Commission is the body responsible for proposing legislation. So the European Commission all discuss, they sit around and they discuss and they try to think of new laws and new legislations that could come into effect. So they propose new laws and legislations. Then the European Parliament discuss the proposals that were given from the European Commission, and then they put forward some changes that they think. So if say the European Commission say we want a we want to put in a carbon law, a law on fossil fuels or whatever, then the European Parliament will discuss it and maybe make some changes that they think that they should to the one that was proposed by the European Commission. And the European Parliament do that together with the Council of the European Union. So both of these sit together and they make changes to proposals of law made by the European Commission. And then the European Council is the main body for making the decision. So although both of these parties discuss the law, the European Council is the main one that will in the end make the decision on whether the law should be implemented or not. And then that becomes European law then. We've lots of European law, like one recently was we had to reduce the amount of carbon and fossil fuels by a certain period of time and so on. So we only don't use Irish law. We use Irish law in our country, but then also because remember the European Union, there can be European law also that might be implemented that is given to us by the European Union, which we then can amend it slightly for our country, but we have to take into account European law also. So the European Court then is the one that's really responsible for dealing with issues when the law is broke. So that's the European Court, like any normal court. Okay, so that's the answers there for the three of them. Then part B, you're asked to explain the reasons why an Irish business may choose to trade with other businesses in the Eurozone. So again, I've just stated three reasons and I've explained them, okay? So one, state a single currency, I've explained. So by using a single currency, the countries don't have to then, if you're trading within the Eurozone, obviously England is the exception, but they're not no longer in the European Union. But when you're selling to other European businesses, it's good for you because you don't have to try and take into consideration exchange rates and how they change daily. Exchange rates do. So even if you work out the exchange price, let's say for a dollar, I have here as an example. So say your product is €5, so it's going to be, let's say, $8 in America. So then that's this equivalent to €5. But then let's say then that the exchange rate changes daily. So then tomorrow €5 might not be $8. So sometimes you can make losses. So that's a benefit there. Comparing prices, it's easier when you're looking at the euro currency, the same currency in the EU, to compare prices, especially if you're, let's say purchasing, if you're deciding on a price for your product, if you're selling it around the European Union, you can see it all in euro and it's easier to compare prices. Uncertainty around exchange rates. So there can be a lot of uncertainty around exchange rates. So by operating in the Eurozone, it can give you confidence as a business owner to know that, you don't need to constantly look at that on a daily basis. The price of the goods stays the same and you'll still make a profit. So it gives you time then to work on innovation and so on within your business as well.